Hola Junior Rangers, Soy Veronica. I'm so excited you could join me today at San Onofre State Beach. Vamos a ver cómo los terremotos pasan aquí. We're here to check out how the earth moves. ¿Supiste que en California is part of the Ring of Fire? Esta área incluye the western United States, eastern Asia, and the South Pacific. The earth moves because it is made up of tectonic plates. Tectonic plates are large pieces of our planet that move against each other. Whenever that friction happens, that's when you feel un terremoto, or an earthquake. We are here to visit the Cristinanitos fault line. Ven conmigo and let's go check it out. Estamos en los acantilados. We are at the bluffs at San Onofre State Beach, down on Trail 1. Cuando caminas along the sand and cobblestone beach, puedes ver como nuestra planeta is constantly changing. To better understand how the Earth moves, we first need to understand how the Earth is made. La Tierra está hecha de tres capas principales. The Earth is made of three main layers. La primera capa es una corteza externa delgada. The first layer is a thin outer crust. It's like a rocky skin that covers the planet. There are two kinds of crust, continental, on the land, and oceanic, which is in the oceans. La segunda capa se llama el manto. Then we travel down below the crust to the second layer called the mantle. The mantle is 1,802 miles thick and it's made of a very dense silicate rock. This mantle layer makes up about 84% of the Earth's total volume. La tercera y última capa se encuentran en el centro de la Tierra. Se llama el núcleo. And then the final and third layer is located in the center of the Earth, and it is the core of our planet. It has an outer core and an inner core, and it's made of hot, heavy metals like iron and nickel, and it's a source of heat deep within the Earth. So now that we know a little bit about the layers of the Earth, let's check out how those layers interact to shape the land. The outer crust layer of the Earth is made up of a bunch of placas tectónicas. Tectonic plates are just large pieces of land, either on the land surface or under the ocean that move very slowly over a large period of time. At one time, all of the plates on the land were attached together. We call this formation Pangea. Puedes ver cómo se ha movido la Tierra para formar las formas que conoces hoy cuando miras un mapa. You can see how the land has moved to form the familiar shapes you know today when you look at the map. The places where these plates meet or pull away are the areas where you see mountains or volcanoes. They also have a large amount of earthquake activity. Here on the West Coast, we are part of the Ring of Fire. The Pacific Plate that includes the Pacific Ocean and the North American Plate, which is what the US is on, slide past each other at about 1 to 2 inches a year. This may not sound like a big deal, but over the course of time, it has affected the Earth's crust and created features like mountain ranges and volcanoes. Anytime you have two or more plates that slide or bump into each other, it is called a plate boundary. Cracks in the crust that form at these plate boundaries are called fault lines, and a fault line is where an earthquake can happen more regularly. Aquí, en San Onofre State Beach, podemos ver un gran ejemplo de una falla. Here at San Onofre State Beach, we can see a great example of a fault line. The Cristinanitos fault line visible here is located on Trail 1. This is considered a dead fault line because geologic and fossil evidence indicates that there has been no activity on this fault line during the past 125,000 years. ¿Cómo podemos saber que es un falla? How can we tell it's a fault line? That's a great question. Puedes verlo claramente aquí. You can see it clearly here. This kind of fault line is called a normal dip-slip fault. Let's look at it closely. Here you can see the different layers of rock. See how they're all level until you get to this diagonal line? That line is the fault line. A dip-slip fault is when the rocks are either pushed up or down in relation to the original layers of rock. Can you tell me in what direction these rocks are pushed? If the rocks are pushed up, it is called a reverse fault line. The rocks here at the Cristinanitos fault line were pushed down, so we call it a normal dip-slip fault line. Isn't that fun to say? Dip-slip fault line, dip-slip fault line. Hey, Junior Rangers, don't forget that your code word for this section is earthquake or terremoto. Make sure to write it down so that you can get your prize at the end of your completion of all the Junior Ranger programs. Hey, Junior Rangers, ¿alguna vez has sentido un terremoto? ¿Sabes qué hacer cuando sucede uno? Have you ever felt an earthquake? Do you know what to do when one happens? There are 3 types of movements an earthquake can do. P waves move side to side, S waves move up and down, and surface waves have a rolling motion. When any one of these 3 happens, lo más importante que puedes hacer es agacharte y cubrirte. The most important thing you can do is to duck and cover. You can protect yourself by ducking or dropping to your hands and knees, covering your head and neck with your arms, and if you can, get under something sturdy like a table or desk and hold on. Asegúrate de mantener alejo de las ventanas y las cosas que pueden caerse. Make sure to stay away from glass windows and things that can fall like bookshelves. If you are outside, get to an open space away from the buildings and trees and duck and cover. Do not go into a doorway and do not run outside if you are not already there. Practice duck and cover with your family and make sure you have a designated place to meet up in case phones aren't working. I've included some fun songs and videos about earthquakes in the links, so make sure to check them out. Also, when you are at our state beaches, if you see trash, I ask you to please pick it up safely. This prevents animals from eating it and helps stop the pollution going into our waterways. It also makes our beaches safer and more enjoyable for everyone. Thank you so much for doing your part.
That was so exciting! Gracias para venir conmigo. Thank you for coming to hang out with me at San Onofre State Beach. Join me and mis amigos on more Junior Ranger adventures. Hasta luego!